Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We're going to be talking to you guys about George from Love Island. His craziness has come out, apparently. X has come out and say he was a narcissist, cheating, abusive individual who gaslit and was emotionally, well, I say emotionally abusive. He was talking down and controlling what the ladies would wear. So, is it just history, or do we need to go a little bit deeper into who George actually is? Let's talk a little bit about that exposure that's happened in the last few weeks as well. If you're new to the channel, do me a massive, massive favor. Like it, share, subscribe. Click on the bell button for notification on the uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. All right, cool. So, just talking a little bit about Love Island. Crazy, crazy situation. George is apparently exposed, because he was doing some madness. So let's quickly have a read. So since George Fenton was announced as part of the Love Island 2023, two women have come forward and made claims about their previous relationships with him. On top of this, a number of old tweets have resurfaced in his false comment from lockdown before he had even stepped foot in the villa. Now he's made it into the show. We're seeking him crack on with girls like nothing ever happened. People are calling for him to be axed. A lot has happened in such a small space of time. So here's a full rundown of claims made against him. Okay. All right. So the saga all began before George had even made into Love Island, with ex-girlfriend claims about him pretty much soon as the cast list was announced. In a TikTok video, Ebony Skeely posted loads of photos of herself and George from when they were together. In the clip, she claimed George is a cheat and a narcissist. She also alleged George begged her for money and he never split a bill. She went on to claim George was controlling over what she would wear and would put down her appearance. She said he constantly lied and made empty promises. In the comment section, she added he would also publicly scream in my face, and then he told his family I was too anxious, so I had to leave at events as well. Wow. George later addressed the video in a statement and said it's not a reflection of a true character. I want to be respectful as I can towards her because I appreciate that she isn't in the public eye as I am in a scenario. He said it's really unfortunate and actually quite upsetting on my behalf that a picture has been painted about me in that light. I'm looking forward to moving forward with things and going into Villa and just proving a new wave of energy and prove that things that have been written about me aren't true. People can see a different light to me. Just a day after Ebony posted, people on Twitter found George's account. Some old tweets were still live. I mean, this happens usually. George had said that F slur referred to things using gay as a negative adjective. The tweets from 2014, when George would have been 15 years old. George was forced to make comments whilst on lockdown ahead of the show and said, honestly, I just feel absolutely sick about those tweets. They're not who I am today, and they can be further away from the man who I am today. And quite frankly, if I could turn back time, I wouldn't even have put those. To be honest with you, it's me really being naive at that age. I made an account back in 2011, just stupidity on my behalf. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, on June 1st, Women's Aid issued a statement about the claims made about George. The charity said it hopes Love Island will take allegations seriously, as the show has recently upped its duty of care protocols to include behavioral training in these sort of issues. Teresa Parker from Women's Aid told Daily Star, considering the amount of concern about controlling behavior that viewers have raised during previous series of Love Island at Women's Aid, we hope that producers will take these allegations seriously and looking into them as part of their due diligence before the new series begins. We know only too well that abusers can be charming, convincing in public, and are able to manipulate others into disbelieving allegations. The statement concluded that it is vital contestants are safe in relationships formed on the show and not exposed to potential partners who have previously been in abusive relationships. Another claim by exes is it wasn't over then, as George was forced to defend himself again. So you're on two. It's not even one, you're on two, bro. When a further ex spoke out against him, Katie Hewitt dated George for 18 months. After they had met in a nightclub in 2017, she claimed during this time he cheated, he was controlling and drove her to stop eating. She claimed all her experiences have left her with PTSD. Katie said George would make comments about her appearance and scream abuse in public. She also claimed he cheated on her whilst on a boy's holiday. That's when I started to feel worthless. She said, I lost my confidence. I stopped eating. But when I asked him to be truthful, he would instead accuse me of cheating. He gaslit me into thinking I was crazy, so I would doubt myself. She described still feeling trapped in the hell of a relationship. I don't think he's capable of love, as he's a narcissist, she added, and she believes he's gone on Love Island for fame, brand deals, and followers. I was terrified to speak out, but I hope I can show why it's important for women to have a voice and not let men like George win. Replying to Katie's claims, George family said, this is one-sided account of a relationship George had 6 years ago when he was 18. And it's not behavior we recognize. Those claims are false, unjustified, and hurtful. Look, let's be honest, right? I think this is the most recent situation. I think that's when he was 18, right? So he dated her for 18 months. He would have been 19. Look, I'm not gonna defend him, but I am gonna say that at 18, 19, these boys, a lot of these boys are dickheads. Like, let's just be real, right? A lot of these men, unfortunately, boys, sorry, I should say, don't know any better. Or I should say they do know better, but they're willing to give it to the dark side in that time. Hopefully he's grown and he's changed. Right? Now, of course, the last girlfriend was 2018, 2017. We're now 5 years down the line. He's now 23, 24. So at this point, we're hoping that things have changed. Has he had no? I mean, no other girlfriends come out again. I don't think in a recent line of line to talk about his behavior. But if there does come somebody in a recent situation, then we really need to actually put it into perspective that actually there may be something chronically wrong with George. And yes, maybe we are talking about um, somebody who's a gaslight manipulator, and it's now a source of behavior that is continuing up into an age where you should be much more grown and more mature. And at that point, we really do, um, you know, we really do have to look at him in a different light. For now, I'm gonna give him a bit of grace and say, look, it was a past situation. He was stupid. I remember I was young. I didn't do necessarily what he did, but I knew a lot of people were doing the same thing. And they've grown out of that situation. There's a lot of guys who didn't grow out of it and continued and still been and at a grown age. Yes, we have to look at it completely differently because your behavior is absolutely destructive. And as you've seen with those ladies in the past, what was interesting about it is there is no apology offered necessarily for those ladies, or I should say, no acknowledgement of the wrongdoing. Like saying, "Hey, look, you know what? They're absolutely right." And I keep saying this, like when I know that somebody's probably moving mad is when there's evidence against you and you can't say, you know what, let me be real with you. In my past relationships, I wasn't the best. Yeah. And you know what? There is some truth to what they're saying. See, if people came out and said that there's some truth to what they're saying, and maybe there's a few things that I disagree with, but there's some truth to what they're saying, people will be like, fair play, he's learned, he's grown, he's matured. It's when they completely deny all allegations. Like, I never had anything to do with it. Nothing I did was wrong. She's a liar. Da, 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 da. When they do that, then people instantly turn against them because they're like, well, is she a liar? Because now there's two of them, right? So, good old George, I appreciate his time on the Love Island. We know he tried to move to the black woman. I have no clue why. But this is concerning, right? Now, of course, he's off the island now, so more fire to a lot of other people. But yeah, unfortunately, this is going to follow him around for a long time, and he needs to make active changes in his behavior, genuine changes in his behavior, if he doesn't want this label to stick. So I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads.